is that?
The knock-up
stream. It's the stream. Yeah. Come on. Yeah.
It's right there.
I got it.
It's what I'm going to call it from now on. Hello and welcome to another episode of Volume 1, the anime and manga podcast, where we usually review the first volume of a brand new manga each week, but today we're back with more One Piece, which means my name is Josh Whitebeard Michaels, and today, as always, I am joined by
Mehgan Monkey Perrine.
Okay.
Cody High Kickin' Decker.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of what we like to call our Done Piece episodes. Today, we will be covering the Jaya arc, specifically chapters 218 through 236. I believe this is a sub-arc within the larger Skypiea arc. I just want to say before we get too into it that this sub-arc, this arc, was one of my favorites. I don't know if it's because this is uncharted territory for me. I've spoken in previous episodes that I had read up to Alabasta and hadn't really read much past that. So going into this, it was all brand new to me, and I loved every second of it. I loved it more than I've maybe even loved, Drum Island and other arcs that have come before. I had so much fun with this, and I'm excited to talk about it, and I'm also excited to hear how you guys felt. What were some of your general thoughts before we go beat by beat through it about this arc?
Oh my gosh!
A little.
Burp, sorry. I really liked it. It finally feels like they're like coming into their own as a team and as a crew. Like everyone has their strengths. Everyone has their weaknesses, and they play to that. And Luffy is for sure. I mean, there's still some moments in the arc that you're like, okay, but he's like showing some real restraint, and he's actually stepping up to the plate a little bit more than we've seen him do. So it's like really, really cool. Any Chopper moment, obviously, I'm here for. My boy. And the overall like at the end, like there's so much that like how are they gonna get out of this? Like there's like 3 different groups being like, okay, we got to stop these guys once and for all. And they're like, we're going into the sky, so catch you later.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, the lore, the world, it's opening up. All these pieces, all these pawns are starting to come together. Cody, the most skeptical of the bunch, how did you feel about this?
I think my favorite part about this is explaining to people what done piece means when they're new. I like
that.
I like having every now and then someone's like, why is this called done piece? And being like, okay. So we're volume 1,
right?
And then so we do volume 1 episodes, then we do done episodes, and then from there, because One Piece already hasn't. That's where I really.
That's what you liked about
this arc. That was your favorite part of the arc.
And I appreciate it. Cody's going into 2022 with a positive vibe and positive energy, and he's really living by the old saying, if you don't have anything good to say, then don't say anything at all. It's also funny because volume Done Piece. You drop the D, you're left with volume One Piece. The D is significant in more ways than one. So there are also layers as to why it's called
Oda
Done
would
Piece.
be proud.
Oda would be ecstatic.
Oda, how do you do an Oda? Oh my gosh, with Oda in it?
Oda my gosh.
Damn it. It's right there.
Yeah, so Cody, really
when I was reading it, I was like, I feel like I've seen this exact same thing. Oh, right. I accidentally read like half of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I was reading through it, and I'm like, I swear to God,
me
they
too.
did this exact same thing. Right.
How far did you read?
Way farther than I read most of this like a month ago.
Whoa.
Because I was going through it. I'm like, yeah, I've seen. I did catch myself. I'm like, yeah, dude, I've seen all of this before. I feel like this. Oh, right.
Yeah.
No, I messed up on this part.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
But do you remember how you felt when you first read it, or how was it like coming back and kind of skimming through it again?
I still preferred the other 2 arcs that I said. The Usopp arc,
yeah,
and then
the village arc,
and then the reindeer arc.
Yeah, the Drum Island arc.
I still preferred and it's every arc. I always have a moment where like, oh, I forgot Sanji was here. Because I thought it was like every character gets someone's like, no, Sanji. I'm always like, oh yeah, you were.
Yeah, it does feel like, especially even in this arc, he has a moment with a character. It's a brief moment, and then he seems to fall, to the wayside again. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's. I mean, I'm sure it's intentional because Oda, with everything that he does, everything is intentional because he doesn't have like a wanted. He's not wanted. Like Zoro, Zoro and Luffy are wanted, so maybe that's why they're usually like paired up together and they do things together.
But
and
I mean,
Sanji's
they're not
kind of
even
like on the
necessarily.
ship.
You know, they were paired up together for a brief period in this arc, but then it was Zoro and Robin that were paired up together. For a long time.
Later.
And also, I think, you know, to your point too, is that like it does seem that like Usopp especially, Nami especially, get a lot of moments, get a lot of shine. Chopper also similarly to Sanji seems to kind of fall to the wayside a little bit.
I think that's why I didn't like it as much, because I'm like, I keep thinking, well, he's gonna become more and more of a focus, but he's become like a member of the team, but in a way that's more casual. I'm like, oh, like he's just like there now.
Yeah.
And like working for them.
Yeah, and I do think that there will be stories in the future where it serves the story to have them be more involved, but it is something that I do notice, especially as we talk about it, that there are characters that always do seem to feel like they get lost a little bit in everything that's going on. I liked this arc a lot though because of the lore. Like I said, a lot of the characters that were set up, you know, even since Sanji's introduction, have come back, and now we're starting to see, you know, the 7 warlords. We're starting to see more of them. One of them's name is Don Quixote, right? Cody, you gotta like that.
Yeah, I've been waiting to see if it's going to be like referencing the story or if it is just his name is Don Quixote.
Yeah,
and then you know key, they're gonna be like, oh, it's like the D but key.
Right.
The D key, which is what I call.
What do you call that? What do you call the D key? And what locks does this key open?
Stop it right now.
What? We're talking about treasure? Maybe it's like a treasure chest?
You don't want to talk about One Piece?
I want to talk about One Piece. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
What D key unlocks what chest? Okay. All I'm saying
Robin's
is
really cool. I'm really, really, really enjoying her character because she is just like so useful in every situation. Like she's just able to do things that the other members aren't, and she just does them so casually. She's like, "Oh yeah, I got this. Oh yeah, I'll do that for you guys." And they're just like, you know, skeptical a little bit, but she's just like dope. Like, I can't wait to see more of her.
Funny scene of them all like getting to know her or accepting her as being a part of the crew. What I think is interesting and important about her character is that she seems to be another straight man or straight woman or straight person. And it's 2022, you know, we got to make more of an effort, you know, to speak, you know.
Is that a thing or is she actually like...
Well, the straight man
is... You never heard of the term straight? That's what I am, by the way.
Oh,
right.
What is that?
The straight man. It's like if you have like in the Three Stooges, you know, I think Mo is the straight man, right?
I don't think any of the, I mean, they're all stooges.
Yeah, they're all stooges.
They're all stooges.
Did you ever
like,
watch
for things to be funny, you you have to have a person there. Go ahead.
The old style of, you know, like that comedy duo where it's like, who's on first?
Right.
Abbott Costello.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say Simon and Garfunkel, but same thing.
So the way it works is you have one guy be like, I'm wacky, and you have another guy go like,
oh,
I don't know about this wackiness.
Pinky and the Brain.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
Angry Beavers.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Always one guy who's like, what the heck are you doing?
Because the absurdity plays off a straight man better if they're sort of the conduit for the audience, because that ridiculous stuff in that world would just seem normal if there wasn't somebody in that world saying this stuff is ridiculous, you know?
Well, I would assume like Nico, Robin, I always call her Nico first, but Robin's kind of that way. But even, you know, Nami and Usopp are pretty like hesitant to do most
Usopp's
things just because
wild.
They're like, what's going on?
In the best way. But I mean, like
in like personality, he is. But then when the world gets more and more absurd, he's becoming more and more of the because he is like a, you know, I guess a normal human in this world.
Yeah.
So he's the.
But I just mean like as far as the other Straw Hats go, because Usopp will give in to the absurdity of Luffy and even sometimes Chopper, and even sometimes even though Zoro's kind of the straight man too, like he gives into it. When Luffy gets to him, he'll overreact. But Nami seems to always kind of rein everything in and everybody in. And Robin seems like she's also there to kind of do that, or she is that.
Robin's the assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the assassin of the group. And like I said, I think she evens out the dynamic a little bit.
Yeah, she's cool. She's definitely like a homie to Nami already.
Yeah, and she is good at keeping things on track. She's good at keeping, anything that needs to be done, she's good at getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sometimes, I think, what the Straw Hats need, because they're always kind of all over the place, similar to another group of people that I know.
Congress?
Yeah,
Congress.
Oh,
Who?
us.
Oh, us.
What?
Us. I didn't get it. I didn't
God.
get it.
But yeah, I also liked a lot that this arc seemed like it was going to follow similar beats that other arcs have and had followed, but kind of flipped it on its head in a lot of ways. I thought we were going to be introduced to these two villain characters that were going to be the people that Luffy had to fight at the end of the arc. And it really wasn't about that at all. It had a great message about dreams and following your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
It also sprinkled in characters that seemed like they were supposed to be just background characters that lived in this city and town that the Straw Hats were going into, but they ended up being very important characters. And upon going back and writing some bullet points down, you see them all throughout the town. Some have more prominent sort of introductions than others, but they're all sort of secretly or very slyly introduced. And I thought it was a great formula for an arc. It kind of checked all the boxes for me. This one did.
It didn't feel like an arc to me.
Did it feel like
The setup to
an
an
arc? Yeah. And I think in a lot of ways to the bigger Skypiea arc, it is the setup to that bigger arc. It's that sub arc within this bigger arc. But it went by fairly quickly. It was an easy read. It was a good time as things ramped up, as the stakes seemed to get higher. I was making noises out loud. I was audibly reacting to what I was reading. I was so excited and so happy to see these characters starting to all sort of come together.
Mm-hmm.
And and we're talking about Ace and finally getting to see Whitebeard, and now finally starting to get to see Blackbeard, and now Mihawk's back, and now we finally see Doflamingo or whatever his name is, the Don Quixote character. I mean, we're starting to see all of the pieces come together, and I really connected with Luffy a lot, and finally feel like I've defended Luffy, and I've heard sort of others' comments on him as a character and why he is the way he is, but I felt like something, and I always understood what they were saying, and I always understood or thought I understood who Luffy was, but it wasn't until this arc that something finally clicked for me. Like it finally, I felt it emotionally fall into place for me, who Luffy is, and it made me really love him as a character and as a leader too. And I don't know, and I know exactly what moment it was, but I don't know why that moment specifically just did it for me. I mean, this is one of my top arcs in One Piece, and again, maybe a lot of it is excitement because this is uncharted territory for me. I'm also willing to admit that could play into it, but I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun too. I liked, like I said, Luffy, for me, like you said, is starting to really come into the character that I think everyone's hyping him up to be. And these whole couple of chapters are meant for you to realize oh, the Straw Hats obviously are a threat. Towards the end, you see Luffy have that crazy moment, and you're oh yeah, they should be taken seriously, even though we just see them being goofy all the time. They're actually significant fighters and pirates. So
yeah, they have a wearer reindeer.
Yeah,
and let's not forget that. God, that's
and 2 devil fruit users.
Yeah, they're unstoppable.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they've only just begun.
And a guy with a slingshot.
Yeah,
and he's how is he the most relatable one of them all? How?
Well, because he's a normal guy.
But I'm not a normal guy, dude.
Oh, that's right. You're a very special boy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You definitely would have eaten the fruit.
Yeah. I would have ate.
You would have got some crazy power.
I would have ate more than one, too. I don't even know if you could do that. I don't know if we've seen that yet. Stacked abilities. But I would have came in there stacked, dude. I would have ate about 3 fruits.
Yeah, is that ever gonna? Someone's
I don't
gonna.
know.
I found a second one. Why
Yeah.
not eat those human fruits if you're like I already have?
Yeah, eat as many fruits as you want.
Is there anything? It's probably gonna be.
Maybe there's a consequence for that, or maybe it's not even possible. Maybe it negates
maybe
if you eat one.
Yeah, maybe you die.
Oh, you can't live in air, and then you like.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to like breathe dirt
Oh wow.
like a fruit.
You become a fruit.
Yeah.
If you eat 2, you become a devil fruit.
That's why there's so many.
That's why there's so many.
Oh, that's how more fruits happen because everyone figured I'll just eat more.
Yeah, why
the
not?
greedy, they have to that they have to serve their penance by being eaten by other, pirates and miscreants
And reindeers.
and reindeer.
And then whoever you were in life, that determines the power of the fruit.
Exactly. And I think that we're really on to something. So
Yeah, watch them and be like, that actually did happen.
And if this
Yes,
doesn't
it
become,
happens later on in the story.
part of the lore officially, then we need to save it for ourselves.
Maybe Don Quixote will have a.
We already got a little preview of his ability.
Mhm.
And he could just control people, it seems like. Which that's overpowered.
That's where I was like reading. I'm like, okay, I was wondering how they were going to incorporate a Don Quixote type power,
Mhm.
and they, I don't remember. I don't think that's a thing he has.
Oh, maybe it's a lot more, deep than that. Maybe there was something there in Don Quixote that, you just weren't able to see. And that,
Yeah, maybe it's Dawn Under.
Don Under.
Okay.
I think his was a little better.
Dawn Under.
Okay.
If he was Australian, that would work.
Yeah, maybe he is. Maybe that's
We don't
canon.
know
He's
yet. We don't know
very
enough about
specifically not. Oh, like the.
Yeah.
The character. We don't
Oh.
know enough about him yet. Even
Yeah.
though I don't think Australia exists in this world, but, maybe the equivalent of Australia.
There is in Australia in One Piece.
Yeah.
Maybe there is. I really loved it. And I just want to say, too, before we go through beat by beat, the other thing I really did like, too, is that this is an arc that does not have a lot of fighting in it. And although I said previously that I do enjoy a good fight and a fight that is well done, it did feel like at the tail end of Alabasta, that's all there sort of was there. And this brought me back to the character, brought me back to the heart, brought me back to, again, flipping what I thought was going to happen from Alabasta coming into this on its head, even when they broke up to go what looked like have their own, separate fights again. It was to go find something instead of fight. And it was a moment that was played for comedy, but the comedy seemed to work really well for me. And I felt like I could finally have a chance to connect with these characters again and to really understand them a little bit more instead of just seeing cool fight after cool fight, which are cool, but I don't get as much out of as I do these moments. But where we left off, we'll start going through it, is on the reveal that Robin lied about the pawn glyph and Alabasta's history being on it, which cool way to start. We already know that Robin is up to something more, or that she has another motive that is driving her, and that is to find what she calls, she wants to know the true history. And I don't even think that she specifies the true history of what. She just wants to know the true history. And all the information that Crocodile was looking for that weapon was, in fact, inscribed on that pawn glyph, but she wasn't she never intended to give him that information. So that was really cool as well, because it shows you who she is a little bit more. And she even goes on to say, as a stowaway, that she's had to sort of pair off or team up with these people to ensure her survival, because she's been, on the seas since she was a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. And I liked how I didn't know she was an archaeologist. I was like, pretty sick.
Yeah. And that's why I thought, is she going to be an archaeologist or an assassin?
Archaeology
Both.
works in any genre, right? Anytime a character is an archaeologist, it just works.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, especially in a pirate story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're going to be digging up a lot of bones.
Mm-hmm.
Studio Bones.
Studio Bones.
Did they do
Skull and Crossbones?
Oh, that one probably better.
Davy Jones?
Yeah.
What the heck?
It rhymes.
No, that works.
And
It
he's a
rhymes.
pirate.
He's a pirate and it rhymes.
You know who else was a pirate?
Who?
Luffy.
Oh, Luffy.
I did some digging.
Oh, you did?
Oh.
X marks the spot. And
Oh.
Well, I won't say that. Even though
Are you gonna do my ex, or was it?
No. I was just gonna say
you
something
can do a
about.
quick joke about Cody's exes again.
No, it's off limits, dude.
That's not.
Is it? No,
it's not at all.
It's not.
It's off limits.
No, do
yeah.
it.
It's a promise that I made myself
For the new year.
for the new year.
Yeah, 2022.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
Oh,
Yeah, and that is what I'm talking about. So it's at this point then that we're getting to know more about Robin. That the remains of a ship start falling from the sky.
Crazy.
And what's actually pretty funny is I'm not 100% sure. I did look into it a bit, but not enough to be 100% confident. But I'm pretty sure that the 4Kids dub that a lot of people like myself who were who grew up in the United States and were watching One Piece as a kid, the 4Kids dub ended here. Like it ended when the ship from the sky falls on them. So if you're a kid who only watched the 4Kids dub, for all you know, the Straw Hats died. They just died.
Well, there's a dub,
What a
regular
beautiful
English
world
dub,
to live
right?
in.
No, there is. They went back and there's another English dub, but I'm talking
How long
about
do they
the
have to
4Kids
wait for
dub.
that, though?
What do you mean?
The other English dub to kick in.
I'm not 100% sure.
Dang, that's crazy.
that's so funny. If
But yeah.
it's just,
But I do believe
it's when it just ends on the
Yeah.
debris falling.
Mom.
Yeah. So I think that there's at least
Straw
one
Hat.
person, there's at least one kid out there who never followed up after that and never found the other dub or never read.
They have
more
no
One Piece.
idea, and they're just like, yeah, that story, and then they just die at the end.
The Straw
Yeah.
Hats are dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, no, they're not dead. They went to the Sky Island.
Sky P.
That's kind of ominous, dude.
Yeah.
They went to the island in the sky. That's dark. But speaking of the Sky Island, Skypiea, Luffy finds a map in the wreckage to this island, and they cross paths with a salvage king who goes by the name Monkey, who goes by the name of Masira, I think, or
Masero, Mashiro.
Yeah, you're the official translator.
Let me see.
It's
how it
it's gonna be very hard. It's gonna take a long time for you to find.
okay.
I think that means you
Okay.
didn't write it
No, I did
down.
write it down.
Okay. If she
Okay.
finds it,
Masida.
Wow.
Yeah, King Masida. You
I-
literally pointed at it before you handed
Yeah,
me the
that's
paper.
so you would find it easier.
King Masida.
what were you hiding in those notes
Whoa,
that you were like?
what's in there?
You're like, it's not even
Encrypted?
worth it to look
I'm
at.
not-
It
It's not
isn't-
even.
it is-
Don't even look at it.
it's
It's
the
not worth your
third thing
time.
listed,
Yeah,
but don't even
It's gonna
bother.
take you too long.
I'm not-
It's
it's-
gonna
it's-
take you
it's
too
gonna-
long.
it's
It's
too
too
difficult.
much.
Maybe I have a surprise plan for you guys at the end of this episode.
Do
You have to
you?
stay
Really?
and you have to watch and listen to the very end to find out what that is.
I don't
listen to
believe
you?
Yeah. Yeah. And I have
a
a super secret plan surprise.
You had to write it down so
Surprise
you wouldn't
plan.
forget.
Of course.
You
yes.
gotta write down the surprise.
Yeah.
What are
Yes.
you talking about?
There's a lot
Your plan is unraveling.
It's
For
not
people who don't
unraveling.
know about this, these notes mysteriously took like an hour to be printed out.
Oh,
because I got something planned for you guys.
Okay. King Masida, Monkey Man,
Monkey
Monkey
Man.
Boy, Salvage King. Salvage
Yes.
King just a funny title in general.
Yes.
But like you were saying
Be
before,
a good name for a junkyard.
The
Salvage,
Salvage
King.
King. Maybe that's what we'll start calling you.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Salvage Fool.
No, not that one.
The Salvage Fool.
No, the first one you said, not that
he's,
one.
He's funny, a character. He's a funny guy.
Is he the
Yeah.
one with the goons?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he was the highlight of the arc for me.
He's the first
Yeah.
guy that they meet with goons. He has goons, but then the other guy who looks more like a
Orangutan.
orangutan, he has
Oh.
the goons that look like the little scuba diving.
Yeah,
Goons.
they're like monkeys in a barrel types.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then he has the
Like-
sonic waves.
like killing monkeys in a barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do we always associate monkeys with barrels?
Because the game.
Yeah, but why did the game?
Oh, and like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, but see why? Why are monkeys and barrels always together?
Well, how else are you gonna ship them?
And Bach crates.
No, you throw them in a barrel.
Ah.
Well, see, that's kind of dark, dude.
Now, why are monkeys in a barrel? Yeah, that's a bunch of monkeys going. That has to
Because
have been
bananas are usually in barrels. So when you
I don't
look for
think that's
I don't
true
believe
either.
you.
when you look for bananas, you know there's gonna be a monkey.
That is true.
Very close.
I'll agree to
Even
that
at
point.
a grocery store, always have to watch your back because they're newly stocked on bananas. You know for sure a monkey's gonna be in the vicinity.
That seems
What are
like
you
a TikTok
saying?
video you would see where someone just dresses up like a gorilla and just hangs around, just walks in a circle
Yeah.
around where they sell bananas.
I mean,
And on contrary, gorillas don't like bananas.
No.
Only chimpanzees like bananas.
oh really?
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought.
Gorillas like plátanos.
Really? Is that real?
It's the truth.
Wait, they like what?
plátanos.
What is that?
Like plantains.
That better not be a type of banana.
It is. It's a different type of banana. It's a type.
It tastes and looks like a banana.
No, it's grittier and it has a green exterior, and it's thicker.
It's a green banana.
Anyway, enough of this monkey business.
You mean an unripe banana? Oh, well, that was a good one. I'm
that
sorry
was good.
for
No,
was
it's
good.
okay. I'll save them.
This was really cool too, dude, because this is
rabbits don't like carrots.
Oh,
they like licorice.
Okay.
Okay, don't feed your rabbit licorice. The monkeys on the ship. Very funny. You think he's gonna be a threat?
I think he's gonna be the villain.
He kind of does get a little crazy.
Yes, sure, but in a funny way. And I think that
Like
this
a monkey way.
In a monkey way.
Yeah.
I think this guy was a highlight for me too, and ended up being a highlight, even at the very end. I mean, getting to know this guy and the journey that he goes through with the Straw Hats was awesome to see. On some Berserk level ethos, I mean, there's some ominous giant shadow giants that appear in the freaking sky, dude.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was insane, dude. This was what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking, like, was there an eclipse in the Grand Line?
If there's a turn like that, then I will be blown away. If they're like, oh, you can eat a second fruit, but you have to make a sacrifice.
Oh.
And then Luffy has to feed, all the food he loves eating to the eclipse.
Maybe that's why Luffy's going around, adding so many people to his crew.
Because secretly, this is the background story that everyone says is going to come in later. Is the legend of One Piece is you have to pull a Griffith, and that's when the story gets real dark.
The One Piece is a behelit.
Mm-hmm. When he gets the One Piece, then he has to make the.
Also, I don't know if giants are a reference or is more Berserk. That might be the Don Quixote reference.
There's giants in Don Quixote.
That's like his whole thing.
Never read it.
You never read Don Quixote? That's where I'm like, yeah, this doesn't really reference the character that much, but like the whole thing is he thinks there's giants everywhere.
I'm not even really familiar with the story.
It holds up. It's an extremely funny story.
It's an extremely funny story.
Yeah. It's satire. It's a comedy. It's about a weeb.
A weeb?
It's a Spaniard who is obsessed with European fantasy. So it's like a guy obsessed with another culture who's like, oh, I'm gonna be that.
Well, now since there's a character named Don Quixote, maybe it gives me a little more motivation to go back and read the source material.
If One Piece sure, if that gets you to read Don Quixote. But there is giants. I mean, they're not real. It's all in his head. That's the thing. It's a comedy, but then in the background, there's a very serious, sad story happening.
But they did.
He doesn't realize that.
They did say that they're bigger than the giants that they'd met.
Oh, for sure. They look massive.
Yeah, so they were
we
like,
saw
what
the scale.
was that?
We saw the ships for scale there.
Yeah. And the turtle thing?
Yeah. The turtle, sea monster, comes.
He's a sea monster? Yeah, he comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, he's another sea monster on the Grand Line that comes to eat them. And in the midst of all that chaos, that's when it starts to get dark. And they look up and they see these massive, what felt like, celestials kind of in Marvel. These huge, celestials are obviously way bigger than freaking planets. But I mean, just the scale of these things, the massiveness of these things, the mysterious sort of energy that these things give off. They're just ominous and looming. I mean, to see that in One Piece, I didn't expect to see that when I saw it. And I was enjoying it. I was taken by surprise. Again, just of the mythos of it all. I want to know more about these creatures. I like that it wasn't answered in this arc, and who knows if and it will be answered. But
were there giants in Berserk?
Yeah, one of the
the people who can transform into
Well, yeah, but one of the guys who's on the new Band of the Hawk, spoilers for Berserk, is a giant.
Like a giant or like a tall guy?
No, he's a giant.
Well, he's not like a giant, but he's a giant. Like he comes from a race of giants.
Mm-hmm. He's a lot bigger than everyone else.
Oh yeah, he's a bigger than normal.
Yeah. No, but he's like a giant, by race.
Oh, okay. His race is giant. He's not a giant.
He's giant.
He's giant.
Right.
And
he's
giant.
This is Guts. This is him.
He's giant and a giant, but he's not giant.
He's not like the Vikings that we saw on the other
giant, like that giant.
No.
We need more words.
Yeah. Oh, he's a giant, not a mega giant.
A mega giant.
Yeah. He's not a megalodon.
Oh.
You've been really into dinosaurs.
Yeah, I know. What's going on?
This is the second time that you're getting in touch with your childhood again.
You know, it's so crazy that everybody, like, as a kid, just loved dinosaurs.
They were such a
It's
cool.
not crazy. It's the coolest thing that's ever happened on Earth.
Yeah, we beat those.
Well,
by the way.
happened on Earth, am I right?
Well, yeah, it was mostly.
Do you-
A lot of the stuff was made up.
That's all, and most of it is, man.
Yeah, it was just people.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's actually been pretty, scientifically verified or debunked or.
But we have fossils.
well, that's the, and also you see like a lot of the way dinosaurs
Yeah.
are depicted are like, oh yeah, if
skin
like
tight. Yeah.
skin tight around a skeleton, you know the way that no life form is, and then it was a lot of competing scientists who would be like, actually, I discovered this thing, and they would lie and exaggerate about things. You see like T-Rexes with those little arms. That's not an like it's because of misunderstanding about like. You know, obviously there were bones that
Yeah.
didn't survive.
Not to say that these creatures didn't exist or creatures like these things existed, but not in the
Not
way
even
that, not even
remotely
close,
close.
in
Like
the
if-
way that they are in our imaginations or that we were taught in
Yeah,
school.
if you look at the skull of a
Yeah.
hippopotamus, they scientists would probably make that look like this horrifying like reptilian monster, even though you know there's fat like in like every body that is like cut out.
Yeah, and you got to take into account that there's this whole like new bird theory now that they're just big ass birds.
That always bugged me. It's like, what do you mean they evolved feathers? How do you go from scales to feathers? I don't get that. Oh, here's a
Yeah.
perfect example: the Neanderthal, the idea of the hunchback brute. That's because the first sample they found was an old man with arthritis. So like they based the entire race off of like the most physically unfit body.
Yeah,
that-
everything is a lie.
Yeah.
You know, even the pictures of space, it's all a lie.
Yeah, they add
It's all
color.
Photoshop,
They add
you know?
yeah. There's
Blender.
yeah.
you know?
Most of it's just made up stuff.
Yeah.
So they can get their NASA money to apparently nuke asteroids and not tell us about.
Yeah.
Like you were.
That was an interesting development. So yeah, and this is again a really cool thing to see in One Piece. After they see these giants that are looming in the sea, they decide that they're going to head to Jaya because they have no way of getting to this sky island. They don't. Yeah.
Skyland.
Skyland, Skypea.
Skypea is what it's called.
Is it Skypea or is it Skypa?
I don't know.
Skype. I like that one.
Yeah,
I
we'll
like that
see.
one.
We'll see.
But I did like that moment
I don't
where
know why that got me. Though.
they're looking at, like, Chopper's looking at the seagulls. And
Oh, yeah.
Chopper, he's
Yeah.
like, oh, springtime is so nice. I love the weather. And the seagulls are having fun too. And then it's just like, and they get
Yeah.
shot down. And then he's like, you guys are shot. I have a bullet right here. And they're like, shut up, Chopper. And he's like a certified doctor and no one listens to him.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But that sniper guy's sick.
Yeah, that sniper guy was the first introduction that we get to one of these characters that is going to come back in a
Mhm.
bigger, more significant way later. But yeah, seeing him on the rooftop from what they said was an impossible amount of distance away for that to have happened
Yeah.
was a really cool way to introduce this character. Also, that's when they do end up getting to Jaya, and we see, I wrote down in my notes, I called him a bitch boy Bellamy, which is also known as the hyena. And his, I guess, right-hand man, the Big Knife Sarkis.
Big Knife Sarkis and Bitch Boy Bellman. Is
Yeah.
Big Knife Sarkis his real name? Or
Yeah, that's what they call him in the manga, but I added the bitch boy.
that's
that's
a
my-
good Bitch Boy Bellamy. That's
Dream catcher and stealer.
Yeah.
Dream Snatcher.
Dream snatcher,
Yeah, yeah.
dream destroyer, bitch
Yeah,
boy.
Dream Snatcher, Dream Destroyer.
Bellarmy,
Bellamy, I think. is-
Bellamy,
Bellarmy.
Bellarkey.
Bellark.
Oh.
That's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this was not cool.
I mean, he's not cool.
He's
not
annoying.
He's not even a threat. you know?
No, not at all.
And you know what? I could tell too. Maybe this is just a personal preference, but I could tell even when I looked at him based on his character design and how basic his character design seemed compared to all the other characters that we've met in this world. I was like, this guy ain't shit. You know what I mean? This guy's not lasting long. This guy's not doing nothing.
yeah.
Because everybody else looks so cool, and he's just like a regular looking dude with like a scar on his face or something like that. I was like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how do you get that scar?
Fuck.
Did you get stabbed in the face?
Maybe.
Yeah.
And if he did, good. And if he did, good.
We did good. And we see obviously I think it's just Nami, Zoro, and Luffy, right? At the bar when they go into the town.
Yeah.
Correct?
Was Sanji like
Yeah.
unloading crates or something?
Yeah, I think
Sanji-
Sanji and Chopper and Usopp stay on the
Oh,
ship
they're
and-
helping the ship. They're building
Yeah,
the ship
they're-
again.
Yeah, and Robin's going around town on her own, I think, to ask about information on Skype.
Yeah, and that was a cute. I mean, I love all the interactions with Chopper and Chopper and
Chopper and
Usopp.
Yeah.
Jesus, yes, they're just their relationship is just so cute. But they're building the ship, and then Nami and Zoro and Luffy are kind of like asking about Skypiea, and everyone's like, "You idiots!" And they make Nami look like an idiot.
they
like
laugh at her face.
they laugh at her face, and she's like blushing. There's a little scene with her blushing, and she tells like Zoro and Luffy like, "Don't fight," and even Luffy's like, "I'm not gonna fight here," and they're like, "Don't fight," and they're like, "We won't," and they don't.
Yeah, no, this to me felt identical, and I think was supposed to be a mirrored sort of scene from the initial scene that we met Shanks in, when Shanks was in the tavern and those other mountain bandits came down and
they splashed beer in their face.
Yeah, and they started roughing him up. Yeah,
I'm always like, I would never. I'm like, I paid money for that. I would never throw a drink in someone's face, even to get them.
Depends.
Would you do that? Have you done that?
I would do it, actually. Yeah, I had to think about it. I would do it.
It depends.
Would past you throw your drink in someone's face?
Absolutely, yeah.
Really?
Even if I spent $100 on it,
and then would you lick it off their face after that? Because I think that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate power move.
Oh yeah, for sure. Even if it costs $100, dude, and it was like muddled gold flakes or something like that, I would throw it on them.
But
if they did something crazy,
yeah.
Or
just get like
even if they
that's
didn't.
why I always order when I go out. I always order a second water cup, because you never know.
I was wondering
what's
about
gonna
that.
happen. Yeah. So like I have my drink and then I have my second water cup.
The drama cup.
Yeah, the drama cup. Yeah. So like, what did you say about my friend, bitch? And then I throw it in her face.
Wow.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah. I mean, it happens way too many times, I would think. You would think that people would see the extra cup and go like, "What's that about?"
Yeah, it's like, oh, is that a throwing cup?
No, I'm just parched.
Right. I like it. I might start carrying around my own throwing cup.
So you don't just waste your $100 gold flake.
Yeah.
That you drink every night for some reason.
Well, if I'm going out, if it's a night on the town, and this is back in my drinking days, maybe I decided to splurge that night.
Yeah, you drink a lot of gold, man. I don't know if that's like good for you.
Good for your stomach.
Yeah, I gotta store it somewhere.
It's just a valuable
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm the treasure.
The Josh piece.
The Josh piece.
Oh, so the D key
unlocks the Josh piece.
It opens up his guts. Yeah.
That treasure chest
opens up my treasure chest, and you can find the Josh piece inside. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
How did you solve the riddle?
You solved it.
I've been watching too much Dexter.
Yeah, you solved it. Real quick, too, I do want to say, though, before they get to the bar, there's that really short interaction between them and the doctor, this doctor character that's on this camel that tries to give him an apple, and then like other people explode.
Crazy.
But then that's the other seed planted for when he comes back and has his big reveal of who he is. You know what I mean?
If we learn nothing from the Bible, it's you don't take apples from sketchy people.
If we learned anything from Snow White.
Oh, you're right. That one too.
Yeah.
Taking apples is like universally a bad thing.
Yeah,
when has it ever been good to take an apple from a stranger?
Johnny Appleseed maybe gave out some apples.
He didn't give them out. He planted them.
Well, he was giving people apples.
He was planting seeds.
And he was reaping what he sowed.
Yeah. You kind of like prepare yourself for like a weird turn. And when he just says a normal thing, it's weirder.
Yeah, it is a little weirder. It's weirder when it makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that was just a little quick thing. And then they do make a fool out of Nami in the bar. And then, you see Luffy sitting next to a character, a big burly guy, and they are very alike, but they are complete opposites at the same time. Like they have the same sort of energy and excitement and enthusiasm for food, but if Luffy likes something, he hates it, and vice versa. And he ends up leaving the bar, and you kind of are left to wonder, like, what's that guy all about? And then that's when Luffy and Zoro get into that fight. And again, it was to mirror, I think, that scene with Shanks where he was purposely not fighting because he knew these mountain bandits were just, they weren't shit.
Yeah, he was going to kill him.
Yeah. Or not even, he wasn't even going to kill him at first. Shanks wasn't at first. They came back. And that's when he was like, okay, well, now I have to do something.
And that's
when Luffy in the very beginning in chapter 1 was like, like Luffy kind of at that moment as a child lost respect for Shanks for doing that. But now to fast forward to see Luffy like having learned that lesson and now doing the same thing where he's like,
yeah, you kill him after.
Well, you kill him after, or I mean, if just beating you once isn't enough and they get a little greedy, then you kill him after.
That's what they did.
I thought they were devil fruit users because Luffy was bleeding.
Well, yeah, they were. One of them was the Captain Bellamy. He is.
Yeah, I was like, can it like to make him like he operated under SpongeBob rules?
Well, yeah, Springs.
Luffy. You know, SpongeBob gets into a fight and it's like, oh, I'm a sponge, I can't be.
Oh, right.
He still can get beat up.
Yeah, he still can get beat up.
Yeah, he gets beat up pretty bad too here.
Yeah.
Him and Zoro. And I was surprised Zoro was just like chilling. Like,
but Zoro's always kind of like he's always, and I don't mean this to like take away from Zoro, but he's always kind of like known his place on the ship and has seemed to always kind of like taken Luffy's word and whatever Luffy sort of asks of him to heart, and he will sort of do it without question for the most part. Like, yeah. So when Luffy was like, "Don't," he was like, "All right, I guess this is what we're doing."
Yeah, I guess we're just getting our ass beat.
Yeah, I also think
this
Zoro
bar.
knew too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And Nami's so funny. She's just like, "You beat them up. I don't care. Beat them up now." And they're like, "No."
Yeah.
And she's mad at them for not doing it.
Yeah, and then there was the whole joke, the ongoing joke about her flip-flopping. And Zoro's like, I don't know what you want, dude. I mean, you're saying go, don't go, beat him up, don't beat him up. I don't mix signals.
Sounds like
someone else you know?
Someone else I know. Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, who could?
My ex-wife.
Oh.
Yeah, I like the idea of me being a divorced single father. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd make more sense for what's going on here.
It really would. His reaction. Yeah. Wow, you really got him. Wow, you really got him. I mean,
it was the perfect, the absolute perfect delivery of that. Just everything.
Not even looking at you.
Yeah, because everything about that.
Yeah, I was even a little taken aback. And I didn't know how to process it, and I didn't want to react until I saw how Cody was going to react. It was one of those.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah. This is what I was going to talk about in the last episode on this, where I was like Luffy gets beat up, and I was sort of like, I shouldn't enjoy him getting beat up. That's where I'm like, I think that I need to not be like, like good.
I mean, dude, feel however you want to feel, dude. Follow your heart. For me, though, I think the moment that it was trying to convey, I felt was conveyed for me. Like, I saw him getting the shit kicked out of him, and I did sort of admire it. But follow your heart, dude. If you have a dark passenger. Yeah.
I just got that, like that. I think some studio bought the rights to The Passenger by Iggy Pop, because that's been showing up in a lot of things. I just got why they chose that to be the intro song to the new Dexter show. The Dark Passenger. So they play the song "I'm the Passenger."
Dexter New Blood. Pretty great.
Yeah.
Pretty great stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty great stuff.
I was, growing up, I'd be like, "Oh, you're like Dexter,"
Oh God.
Yeah, that's not something you want to be told.
No, it's not. It's one of those things where it's like, "Oh, you seem like you kill people." I'm like, "Well, I don't." And then
that is the best of both worlds, though. Seeming like you do, but not doing it.
No.
Yeah. I thought I hated it until I got being compared
Cody,
to Sheldon, and then I was like, I'd rather you called me Dexter.
No, the other one's better.
No.
But to him, and I get it.
The other one's better, though.
To him, I guess, again, he gets to walk both sides of the road.
I'd rather people say, "Oh, I bet you have like a kill list," than you look like Sheldon at all.
The fact that it surprises you after
I don't know why.
I don't know why. Think I was?
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Which really I didn't.
Why.
And nor would he ever.
Yeah.
No. But it's just like, if you'd rather be viewed that way, or you've never been called Sheldon, so you don't get it.
I have been.
You've been called Sheldon.
Yeah, because he's the main character of Big Bang Theory.
And you're not.
And you know how I love my main
not
characters.
Really the main character.
Yeah, he is.
I would argue
kidding
that
me?
Leonard was more the main character.
No,
than
Big Bang
Sheldon.
Theory would be nothing without Sheldon.
Yeah, it would be nothing without Sheldon, but I think that
Sheldon is the main. You guys.
Yeah, again, you're not just the main character because you like them. You have to. You're not Sheldon.
Yeah, I would argue that
you're
Sheldon.
Penny.
No.
Well, maybe you can be maybe you can be
the girl with
Farrah Fowler or whatever.
The one with
Amy
the high
Farrah
pitched
Fowler.
voice.
I like the other guy with like the bowl cut.
Oh, Howie or whatever. His name
Yeah.
is. Howard.
First, Josh is Howie.
I mean, let's not,
Let's not sit here for
argue
too long.
which Big Bang character we are. Our Big Bang sodas.
So they get fucked up.
Right.
And they're walking out of the bar. They're all bloody. You guys are nothing. You guys will never get to Sky Island, P Island, because it's not real.
Don't call it
Josh's
P Island.
Dreamland.
Sky P Island.
Yeah, I would.
Golden
I would love that
showers from the sky. It's Sky Island P.
place. Okay. All right.
Skypea.
You got
Wouldn't
it.
want to be ya.
There we go.
Yeah, and
Skype, something with that, something with Skype.
and there's that guy again, right? The drunk guy.
Yeah. So Blackbeard's outside, or
We don't know who
we
he's
don't know who
Blackbeard
he
yet.
is Blackbeard yet. But if you're watching this video, then you know.
Again.
If you're watching this video, then you know.
Yeah, that's like who's like who?
What?
Yeah. Who's like what?
Huh?
Blackbeard was here.
I only read chapter 218, not chapter 219.
I skipped it.
Yeah, I skipped that chapter.
It's only the most like influential panel that you see everywhere.
I mean,
from
this
One Piece.
is pretty cool because it's a 2-page spread and there's like almost nothing going on except for them at the bottom of the panels, and then the whole sky is just filled with Blackbeard saying that people's dreams don't ever end.
I've seen a tattoo of that panel. Yeah, that's pretty sick.
It's really beautiful and it conveys the weight, I think, just in how it's presented. And it's a really cool message because what's his name? Bellamy is saying that it's all about the new way of pirates, that it's all about like no one gives a shit about the One Piece and no one gives a shit about Goldie Roger. Like that's for old heads. I'm out here looking for gold. I'm out here looking for treasure. Okay. I'm not out here like following legends and looking for ancient treasure.
I mean, like in this world though, like so many things are like magical and like mystical. It's like, why is a sky island so hard to
the whole time
like have a concept of?
Laughing, and it's like, I mean, yeah, I can turn to smoke, but I did eat that fruit that lets me become like a luminescent being of like pure energy.
There's an island with like giants and dinosaurs.
I've talked to a giant once, and we drank beer. But a sky, you're crazy to think about.
You are off your mind.
Islands can't be in the sky,
guys. They can't be. And I'm going to tell you this. Unironically, I was like, maybe there isn't an island in the sky. Dude,
the spit take.
I bought into it, dude. I bought into it. That was if enough characters question the reality of the world that I'm, visiting.
They're laughing at a were reindeer.
Yeah.
Who's a doctor.
Yeah, that tracks.
Because it's like this sentient reindeer thinks there's a sky island.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That, all of it tracks. But I also question I question the reality of a sky island. Okay. But obviously the arc's called Skype. I mean, obviously they get there, but
yeah.
But okay.
I envy you.
My God.
No, I don't think he meant that in a bad way. And if he did,
it sounded so crazy.
No,
I envy you.
No, I would like to be like,
that's this dark passenger.
I would like to be like, maybe there isn't a sky island.
Yeah, no, yeah. I don't know why I was able to just kind of do it. I kind of bought into it. I kind of bought into the world.
I would like to take a pill that would let me just like do that when I like got into a story.
And I would really truly love to take a Cody pill too, just so I can understand what the fuck is going on.
Yes, I've heard that.
What about my pill?
I mean, your pill would be
that's called ecstasy.
Yeah, it's called ecstasy. It exists, dude.
Yeah,
yeah. Your pill would be like the party pill. You go
like,
woo.
Yeah. You're the pill that everybody wants to take. Yeah, when they're going out to have a good time.
Yeah, don't take that. I heard if you take the Mehgan pill, if you look in a mirror, you just see Garfield.
Oh,
yeah, they're tripping out. Yeah,
dude, that would be awesome.
Yeah. And then I heard when you take the Mehgan pill that one of the side effects is that you won't stop shaking. You can't stop like shaking.
Oh, yeah, that's like the worst side effect. And dude, it stunts your growth.
Oh, I did not. hear that, actually.
Well, you don't want to hear what I have to say about the Cody and Josh pill.
You really don't.
You don't want to.
That's the thing. You don't.
You don't want to hear those side effects.
Nor do you act. Nor do you want to take the Cody and Josh pill.
You should know. You would never. They would ban it.
Yeah, it should be outlawed. It should be locked up.
Yeah. You take the Cody pill, you try to watch a movie, and you're like, what the fuck?
I heard they give the Cody pill to the prisoners on death row. I heard they
as their last meal.
Yeah. I heard the Josh pill, it just shrivels you up.
Oh.
Dehydrates you. It dehydrates you and it sucks up all the water.
Yeah.
Because
that's another thing it does. It also sucks.
It sucks up all the fluid inside of you.
Because it naturally, the Josh pill causes you to start absorbing fluids.
Because the most valuable, mineral of the body is water. And so the Josh pill senses the value and it takes it for itself.
I'll give you the Cody pill causes you to have too much sodium in your system.
Yeah, you get a little
very salty.
Yeah, you get a little salty. Yeah. The Mehgan pill, you do. Yeah. You do kind of, you're kind of just really on a high, Speaking of Sky Island, I mean, you're sky high, The Mehgan pill takes you to sky high.
You can also do an immaculate Grinch impression.
Oh,
amongst many other.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like that pill.
Yeah, you can take the Mehgan pill and you can just become, an impressionist, a voice actor. You just have a what do you call it? An arsenal of voices. It changes the whole biology of your vocal cords.
Yeah.
You take the Cody pill, you
shit yourself.
You shit yourself, which I do quite often.
Yeah.
And we all know that. That's on record.
Anyway, that was a really good moment about dreams. And about dreams.
Yeah, don't have someone else tell you it's not possible if you haven't seen it for yourself.
Beautiful line. Beautiful line. And a really cool moment where he says, it takes hard work to be great. And these people, the Bellamy's of the world, they just want a quick buck. They don't want to, go out on a potentially dangerous adventure to be great, to find these things, to follow their dreams. And if they want to laugh, let them laugh.
This is all taking place in the Grand Line, right?
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate.
On the island of Jaya.
Jaya.
That was the other weird thing. Like everyone here is like on like the most dangerous trail in existence where all this magical things happen, but they're like skeptical.
Yeah, because they're strong, but they're not necessarily, I don't think I don't think that everybody is as invested in the legends like that. That's their reality. That's their world, and their strength is what got them there. But I don't know. It makes sense to me that they wouldn't care about because Gold D. Roger has been missing or dead, I should say, for X amount of years. Everybody's been looking for this thing. No one's been able to find it. It would make sense that there'd be a generation that would eventually say, well, maybe this fucking thing isn't even real.
Yeah, maybe it's just fake.
I guess you could call someone who was beheaded missing.
Their head's missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or their body's missing.
Or their body's missing.
Either one of them has to be missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. And then
he was executed in the first chapter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or did we see it happen?
And that's the thing, I don't know. It was some sort of flashback. That's what I'm saying. I never know. So I always say, is he missing? Is he dead? Because it wouldn't shock me if, he came back somehow, some way. But anyway, also because we've also seen, just as a side note, we've also seen people like Buggy, who does make an appearance a little bit later. He's able to, he has the fruit, the chop fruit, which allows him to detach his limbs from his body. So, I mean, if you were going to execute Buggy without the knowledge that he has the chop fruit, he could just make his head fall off and everybody be like, oh, he's dead. So I'm just saying the possibilities are endless. Anyway, so beautiful moment with who we find out later is Blackbeard. Inspirational moment, beautifully written. Loved it. And then enters the other monkey, the orangutan guy, Shoujo or Shouju. He is the brother to the monkey guy that we met earlier. Also,
I like their ships too.
Their ships are fun. Their crews are fun. He has the sonic ability, and his crew are the ones that are in the scuba gear. And they both have their moment with Luffy where they sort of have, they kind of butt heads when they meet, but eventually they end up all teaming up and working together when you find out the legend of Nolan the Liar.
This is
where I got.
This is it, and I was like, huh?
Because I saw comments about that. I'm like, oh, is he fucking with us about
No,
stuff happening in the story?
Literally, that's what I thought. And then I opened the chapter, and Josh was like, "Did you get to Nolan the Liar?" And I was like, "What?" And then it literally read like Nolan the Liar, and I was like, "Is this like a magic trick?"
Yeah, as if I would have taken the time, I would.
You would.
Yeah, you couldn't even finish that sentence.
I know. That's why I was like, is this fake? And I was like, no, it's actually, I was like, oh, that's cool that it's like Nolan.
Yeah.
Like Nolan, like just, who, how many Nolan?
I only know one Nolan.
Yeah.
No land. It's
no
in
land.
the air.
Wow.
Wow.
That's kind of very insightful.
All right, there we go. I got mine in.
You got one. Now you sink.
Nolan the Skyer.
Oh, wow. Wow. I like it. I like all of it. No, but yeah, this was a coincidence for those of you who don't know. Obviously, we are referring to in our previous episodes, Mehgan's cousin Nolan, who was on a couple of previous One Piece episodes, who has gone through the whole series. And people were saying Nolan the Liar in the comments. And we were like, but it's Nolan without the D. Why are people misspelling his name? And also, why are they calling him a liar? And this is why. It's because there's this legend in One Piece of Nolan the Liar. And the story was told in the North, in the North Blue, I believe.
North Blue, yeah, where we find out Sanji grew up or was born.
Yeah, Sanji
that was a weird little.
Yeah, it's gonna come into a play later.
Yeah, for sure. They made it like, oh yeah, I did live there, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna. Yeah, it's why would Oda sprinkle that in?
Linger on it, like it felt lingering. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just a story about a guy who said that he found an island of gold and went back to report to his kingdom. And his king, sent 2,000 of his soldiers to go find this island of gold. And when they got there was no island of gold. And
only 100
soldiers were left. And so they locked him up and executed him. And one of his final words was that maybe it sank or something. What was cool though,
you're dying, just being like, well, maybe, well,
but that's what
which
they
I
said.
would do. I would die being like, well, hold on, maybe
that's what they said. Like, or that's what his ancestor that we end up meeting, Mont Blanc Cricket. He said that in all these children's books, it depicts him like smiling like a madman. Like maybe it sank, like he had this like sinister reason or was trying to cover his ass. But he said in reality, like, tears were streaming down his face and he was like pleading.
Yeah.
Dark.
I like that turn.
I mean, it's a great turn. I feel like stuff like that happens all the time in stories, and they get misinterpreted or, passed down so many times that it's like you find out that, even certain fairy tales, the way we know them, have very dark, even though, they're not, real.
What?
Well, some of them are.
You're telling me fairy tales aren't real?
Some of them are.
You're telling me dinosaurs aren't real?
I choose to live in a world where sky islands may or may not be possible, and where, werewolves eating my grandma, or just maybe wolves eating my grandma, may or may not be possible.
Do you think that's a personal my grandma story to you, not another person's grandma?
Well, no, I don't think that. But I mean, if
how about grandma got eaten by a reindeer?
Maybe she did.
But it's,
That's a sad one, though. That song's messed up. She literally died.
Well, yeah, your grandma getting eaten by anything is sad.
No, the song isn't eaten. It ran over.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like literally like super intense way to die.
The fairy tale I actively hate is the one with the Beast Man.
Beauty and the Beast?
Beauty and the Beast.
Why do you hate that one?
The origin of it was to like normalize for children the idea of arranged marriages. That's what a lot of fairy tales were, to like ease children into like, accepting that. Because that's all it is. It's just like, look, you'll move there. He's going to be a horrible monster, but eventually you'll love him. So, get used to that.
Yeah, we actually did recently.
But the Beast had a great heart.
Right, then that's what children will grow up thinking when they get to that arranged marriage.
Mm.
Yeah, but even outside of arranged marriages,
He can throw furniture at you and he can break things in a rage and punch walls and stuff. But it's fine because eventually you'll find out you can change him. And
well, that's more so than the arranged marriages thing. Like that's the more dangerous side of it, I think.
Yeah,
because
what it got turned into in our culture was just you can change him.
Yeah, he's just going through a lot.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He had a rough childhood, actually.
Yeah, and
but he's got money.
Yeah, underneath all that, he's a really kind person.
I just think
who just wants to be loved.
I think it's funny that was
he
my
treats his staff like
favorite Disney film growing up as a child.
Beauty and the Beast.
That was my favorite princess. Yeah. What does that have to say about me?
See, the thing that you
really
like
Disney movies.
Yeah, the thing that you really have to do when confronted with this information is just not think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Where's the Josh pill? Oh, I'm not gonna think about it.
Oh, that was
wow,
a good one.
I'll talk to you about.
I'll do this one for you. I'll take the Josh pill. Oh my God, it's gotten way bigger.
Your problems or your
my stomach.
Oh, right. Okay, then I guess if everybody's taking pills.
Oh, no!
Yeah,
I'll take the Mehgan pill.
Take a pill. Take a pill.
No.
I like this pill. I like this pill a lot. Tough pill to swallow.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good use of the phrase.
Whew. Anyway, so we got the orangutan guy. We got the introduction of Mont Blanc cricket and the story of Nolan the liar. And his introduction to, he also was very aggressive towards the Straw Hats. He thought that they were coming for his gold. They discovered after their fight, in which he sort of passed out during, that his body is sort of not doing well or in the best shape because of his constant diving, which he is doing because as an ancestor to this guy, he is trying his hardest to not necessarily clear this guy's name, which I thought was a really cool thing. He does not care about clearing his ancestor's name. All he cares about is, what happened to him and his life and his childhood and how it affected him. So it's a personal sort of grudge within himself. Like, I want to settle this. I want to find out if this was a lie or if this was real for me and not for you, because this affected me negatively. This, determined the course of my whole life and how people treated me my whole life. So that was a cool thing for him, and not to be this guy who was like, and I want to, prove the world wrong that my great grandfather, he knew, there was an island of gold and he wasn't a liar. He's like, no, I don't give a shit about that guy.
I got bullied for it and I want to.
Yeah.
And the monkey guys, he's like, why are they your, henchmen? He's like, oh, they're just like fans of the story.
I really like, those guys might be my favorite One Piece characters.
They just like
they're
the
great.
story.
I keep thinking I'm not going to like it, but every time that the big brutish characters turn out to be cool guys, I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah, they are cute. They are cute. They're like, there's like a scene where they're like, oh, they like listen to reason. Like they just told him once, they're like, you're right. And it's like, oh, that's cool. But there was a crazy moment too where Usopp like challenged him. Like Usopp was like, I think I know a liar because I'm a liar. And he's like, I don't trust you. And I was like, dang, Usopp.
Yeah. And
like, that was great.
Yeah. And then, them pulling him aside and realizing that, he is just acting this way out of fear. And, where all these things were coming from, and Usopp realizing it and, feeling bad for how he acted. It was a cool moment.
Yeah.
It was a real moment.
Yeah.
Amongst all the chaos and silliness that can be One Piece sometimes, it's nice whenever you see someone get genuinely emotional. You have to deal with their emotions.
Yeah. It was great. I like that.
It was
probably
awesome.
one of the highlights for me.
We also get to see that, Nami and Robin, I think, go through this old like ship log that this guy has from Nolan the Liar, and he's talking about these ships that run off these minerals from this Sky Island, and that he's seen these fish from Sky Island, and he's just going on and on and on about these legends, basically. And he also says the last thing that's in his he also talks about this Emperor Cloud and the knock-up stream, which is apparently how you get to, I don't like the face that Cody's making right now.
What is that?
The knock-up
stream. It's the stream, yeah. Come on. Yeah.
It's right there.
I got it.
It's what I'm gonna call it from now on. But also time and place, dude. You know?
I didn't say anything.
I know.
Yeah, you didn't say anything. You want to know what he said though?
I mean, you said it all with your eyes.
Yeah, that was
pursed
yeah.
lips.
I don't like the lip one.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, keep your, what did you call it? Your D key, whatever. What did you call it? That's
keep
not
that
what I call it.
shit. Keep that shit locked away.
Yeah, keep it locked up. But yeah, the Emperor Cloud, the knock him upstream, and also the last thing that was in the log, which was I saw the gold in the skull's right eye, which is something to be taken very literal, or is something that is going to be a mystery that will be solved later. Once they get to Sky Island or Skypiea or wherever, I'm sure this is something that'll be revealed. Then they're told, abruptly they have to go find this bird, this south bird.
Which was crazy. You have to go now.
That was so
like,
funny, though, because it's such a silly moment.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I related to that moment so much. Like, you're having a good time, you're enjoying yourself, and then you realize, fuck, we got to get this shit done. Like, we got to go get a bird right now. We actually shouldn't have been hanging out this whole time. We got to be going to get birds right now. You know?
No, I don't.
That happens to you?
Super relatable.
Yeah. In birds, you mean?
Like the British.
No. By birds, I mean paper. Gotta go get this paper. You know what I mean?
For printing.
Yeah. Money on. Yeah.
Secret reveal to your counterfeiting scheme. I don't know if you should.
It's not a scheme, it's a business.
Oh, God, his lips.
It's lucrative. But yeah, that was a funny moment. And the birds too, the whole, like I said in the beginning, the pairing up of the Straw Hats to go look for the birds. Very funny.
And how do you think this bird sounds? Because I have my own theory.
You want to make bird noises right now?
No, because he has a specific J-O-H.
Yeah.
How do you think that sounds?
Well, I think as the resident bird expert, there's no one.
J-O-H?
Oh. I mean, he's you care to,
Yeah, I thought it was going to
give
be
us your. Oh, you think there's a couple rolled R's there? I think it's, if I may, my rendition.
I was like, I couldn't do it. I can't.
My rendition, I'm assuming, because they did say it was wild. They did say it was, what did they
it's
call
menacing,
it?
too.
Menacing.
Well, how many O's are in it?
Only
It's
one.
the East bird.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the East bird. They did say it was kind of frightening, too, I feel like. Or they'd say menacing, or they said, so my rendition, I believe, if I had to, dig deep, it would be something like, like
So
that.
you're thinking more guttural.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that makes more, like,
Yeah, like that.
I don't like
Probably
that.
a little something like that.
I don't like
A
that
little
one.
something.
A little
Like
something I
something
call.
like this. Very funny though. The pairings were very funny. The team ups were very funny.
Yeah, I love Team 3. Chopper and Luffy.
Oh, Chopper and Luffy.
And I love
the best.
Yeah, Robin, Nico,
And Zoro were together.
Zeko and Zoro. Yeah. Awesome.
Nami and Usopp then I think are
And
left.
Sanji.
And Sanji to be together. What was really cool too is you forget sometimes, to the point of people falling more to the background. You forget sometimes that Chopper can talk to animals or can understand animals.
That was a crazy moment. He was like, everyone who enters this island will die. I was like, damn.
And a funny moment later when they actually do get the bird and he's telling you the bird's telling them I'm gonna look another way to fool you guys.
Yeah.
And then he looks and he's almost he can't help but turn his head back south. It was such a funny moment. I forget that there's all these moments now that lend themselves so much to comedy when Chopper can understand anything animals say. It's just a convenient, I think, thing to have be a part of the crew.
Definitely.
But it was super funny. I really enjoyed those couple of chapters. And then we get back, while the Straw Hats are gone, I should say, Hyena shows up and wreaks havoc on Cricket and what are they called? The Monkey Mountain Allied Force base. He wreaks havoc on the base and steals an ingot, I think is what they call it, or something. Ingot.
Ingot is that's a good fantasy name.
Oh, save it.
Yeah.
Ingot or an ingot.
Ingot.
Ingot. And a golden bird. And this is like kind of prove in a sense that things that Nolan the liar said were true. Not enough to make it like irrefutable, but enough to give them hope. So he comes and Hyena comes and takes that stuff so that when they get back, they're pretty distraught. They're pretty, upset about it.
They're messed up too. Like there's that scene where one of the I think it was like the orangutan, he goes to like charge and he goes, bah, he's like dead.
Yeah, he really, fucks him up.
Yeah.
And then when they get back, they still tell Luffy and the Straw Hats, like, look, don't worry about it. It's all right. Like we're on like a deadline. And that's actually why Usopp, now that I'm remembering, attacked him in the first place, because he was like, oh, all of this is so coincidental. Like we just happen to get here on the one day that this thing is happening and lining up. Like it's just, this is too much of a coincidence. Like I don't believe you. You're also a descendant of this person. But yeah, so then they decide that they're gonna build the ship up anyway in the meantime. But seeing him affected by it, seeing Cricket affected by it, and Luffy saying like, no, like you spent your whole life like searching for these things, finding these things, diving. Like look at the wear it's taken on your body, like and on everything that you've done. You've spent your whole life looking for this. You found something. You can't just let someone take that away from you. And that's when Luffy is like, I'm out.
Luffy's like, I'll be back by sunrise.
I'll be back by sunrise.
Dang, here you go.
Yeah. And that was a moment where it clicked. Like now, without a doubt, I feel like I know who he is. He's someone who is so empathic, and he's someone who is so like, he sees the kindness in people. He sees, the genuine. He can see when someone is genuine and kind, and see when someone is a good person. And when they won't or can't or don't think they're worth standing up for, he stands up for them. He doesn't listen to reason or logic, because that is part of all the excuses that we make ourselves to not stand up, to not fight, to not do anything. He doesn't listen to any of that. He just charges, forward and defends the good people in the world. Because the world, our world, the world of One Piece is filled with so many villainous, evil people. When he does find good ones, he fights for them and like defends them. And that was like when it all clicked, and I was like, I get who this guy is now. More than I've ever felt like I understood him. Oh, okay. I mean, Cody, you could clap too, dude. It wouldn't kill you. Thanks.
That was good.
Thank you, guys.
God.
I'm breathing weird.
Just
got nervous.
You got nervous?
Yeah.
On the surface, you look calm and ready.
But my knees are weak and my palms are sweaty. For the holidays, I had my mom's spaghetti.
There we go.
So anyway, while this is happening too, we get a cutaway, and we get to see Buggy, and he's in a cave with his shipmates, and on the way back to his ship with Alvida, we see Ace for the first time in a long time.
He's just there.
And Ace is just chilling there.
He's like, I smell the food, I'm here. And they're like, what are you even doing here? And they find out who he is and how they like can't kill him because
he's a crewmate.
Yeah, a Whitebeard. And he goes, Whitebeard will kill anyone who kills his men, so we better not do that.
And Buggy has this like very, like you said, this moment that's lingered on where he says like, I've come across him before. Like I know how he operates. He really is the strongest. He's the only one that's fought Goldie Roger and is still alive. And, seems to respect him and seems to know him very well. And yeah, he's just kind of chilling with Ace, and Ace says like, if you guys are looking for Luffy, like I'll tell you where Luffy's at. Like I'll tell you where we can find him.
Which was like, what?
Yeah, but he knows.
He's gonna whoop them.
I mean, I just feel like Ace is, like you said, has an ace up his sleeve. Yeah, he knows. He's got a plan. That was really cool to see. And then this is where the world is opening up. This is where we're starting to see all those characters come together, because then we meet the 5 elders.
Yeah, I was like, finally, I've seen this panel everywhere.
See, I
this
have
is like
And that's what, I mean, you've said that a couple times during this. Like, you saw the panel of Blackbeard talking about dreams. I haven't seen any of this stuff. So to me, it was like, what the heck?
Well, it's just, one piece at a time.
It is. It really, truly is. I didn't know anything about this. These 5 elders, and they're looking to replace Crocodile as a warlord because he was a warlord of the sea that was defeated, obviously, and they're looking to fill that spot. So they're having a meeting, and they don't think any of these warlords are going to show up because they're all pirates, but a couple of them do. And the first 2 that enter are Don Quixote Doflamingo and Sir Bartholomew.
I like the Bartholomew guy. See, he looks like a bear.
Yeah, he does kind of look like a bear. And he did, I couldn't, am I remembering correctly that he also had like cow print or something on him?
I think that's Doflamingo.
No, Doflamingo.
He has
Doflamingo is the one with the feathers and the boa and the sunglasses.
Point out, she was like, "Oh, what does liking Beauty and the Beast say about me?" And then she's like, "Oh, I really like the bear guy,
the big burly guy,
yeah,
who looks like a bear."
Yeah, so
yeah, and Guts, who's like big and a monster,
definitely has chest hair.
Well, also who is kind of like a beast. He has a beast in him. Guts has a beast in him.
A literal beast in him.
A literal beast.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just, yeah.
So I don't know if any dots are starting to connect in your head.
They are, yeah. Yeah, they are.
I mean, what's your organization called? The Monster Effers?
Yeah.
Actually.
Whoa. The Monster Effers?
Yeah. Not fuckers, effers.
Oh, Effers.
Different category, different meaning.
Right, you guys are doing different stuff over there.
The Monster Efforts.
Oh.
The
yeah,
Monster
that's what I said.
efforts.
The Monster Effers.
Efforts. Yeah, it's an organization. We give back.
The Monster.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, everybody has to have a cause.
Yeah. And it's appreciated.
Everybody needs one. We meet a couple other characters too. We meet like the Great Advisor, whose name is like Suru, who I believe is going to come back later and be important. We meet this guy named Buddha, Sengoku, who's the Supreme Commander of the Navy. We meet a lot of these characters that I feel like are going to be very important later on. And then we meet some returning characters. We see Hawkeye. Mihawk shows back up again. And this strange person named, I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name, Lafite? I don't know this guy's name.
Lafayette?
It's Lafitte.
Lafayette. I think it's Lafayette.
Okay. You're the resident.
Because Lafayette is like a...
Lafitte. I don't know. Maybe
Lafayette.
it's French.
Lafayette is French.
Lafayette sounds like a character I've heard of before.
Lafayette, I think, is like a town.
It is a town.
Yeah. Yeah. New Orleans?
Not sure.
Towns can be characters.
Yeah, towns can be characters.
Have you ever heard of, that guy? That guy.
Which one? The town? Which town?
I love hearing it. Yeah, which town, man?
Chi Town is what they call Chicago, right?
And that's a character.
And that's a Mario character, Shy Guy.
No, not the same.
There's Danny the Street.
Okay, see?
Because one of those Transformers is a city.
Point made. Right there. Thank you, Cody. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, Cody gets one now.
Oh, you guys like Transformers?
No.
Not really a lot.
No?
Mm-mm.
They're fine, but I mean, like, come on.
Like, grow up.
Yeah. She's got venom.
I'm just kidding.
But it was really cool to see these characters again. And it was really cool to see them get together. And now they're trying to look for another person to fill Crocodile's spot. But not just that. This mysterious character, Lafitte, or whatever his name is, or their name is coming in to pitch their guy, which is a guy that they say hasn't really made an impact in the pirate world, but is going to be doing something or setting something up to make a name for themselves. And that person is revealed to be Blackbeard, and he is revealed to be part of Blackbeard's crew. And then all of Blackbeard's crew is revealed, and we see that there are all these people that have been sprinkled throughout. It's the sniper, it's the doctor with the apples. There was a guy on the roof who was like challenging people to a fight. It's like all these people are his crew that have been sprinkled around. So we thought, and we knew there was something else going on with this guy at the bar who was selling people on dreams, but that he was going to be the character in One Piece to carry the name Blackbeard. I mean, was a really cool, and to me, feels like a significant thing. And, being one of the most famous pirates, I can only imagine this character is going to be a very important character and powerful, possibly potentially character. So it was really cool again to see, all of these things, like I said, start to come together. We also cut to another instance or another scene where there's a character named Rockstar who's a part of Shank's crew delivering a letter to Whitebeard. And the whole time this reveal was played very well too. Whitebeard is we only see his mustache and his like jaw, and he's drinking and he's surrounded by nurses and you don't know why. Rockstar's delivering this letter, and Whitebeard is saying that he rips up the letter. He doesn't want to have anything to do with it if Shanks he doesn't even want to read it if Shanks doesn't have the balls to basically come meet him face to face and bring a good bottle of grog with him or whatever.
Grog, yeah.
The whole time, based on Rockstar's mannerisms and just like how, how much respect he's given Whitebeard, we know that he's this powerful being, and that is a character who I've seen little bits of, not much of, but little bits of. And so to cut to that shot, that establishing sort of like full body shot where we see him for the first time, and to see that he's all hooked up to all these things, and he does look like a sick, granted giant and still very strong man, but also a very sick and possibly, injured, dying, terminally ill person. I don't know. It just seems like he is in a very vulnerable state. And I liked that reveal too, because again, the little that I've seen of him, I expected him to have this like very powerful, like, guns blazing intro, and he just kind of shows up hooked up to a bunch of machines, I guess.
Yeah, he's huge too. Like the scale of the nurses compared to him, I was like, Jesus.
He's huge. Strongest man in the world.
Yeah.
Edward Newgate.
Newgate?
Could be Newgate.
Who's Edward Newgate?
Whitebeard.
Oh, that's his real name.
That's what it said. Yeah.
Oh.
In the little
Edward
Newgate. Or Newgate.
I'm pretty sure it's Edward Newgate. And
Maybe.
they're trying to assemble all the chocolatiers together to form the ultimate candy bar.
How many are there?
I think there's like 6. There's Newgate.
Could have been 3.
It's what?
3 chocolatiers.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
We were going different directions with that.
Yeah. What were you doing with 6?
I was trying to list the ingredients of a Snickers bar. Yeah.
Also great direction.
Yeah.
Good guys, good one.
Great. Wow. Mehgan doesn't like it. So when Rockstar returns, he via snail, he tells him, all right, don't worry about it. You did your job. I'm going to go. Also, we learned that the Navy and the government don't want Shanks and Whitebeard to get together for whatever reason, because they're so powerful, and 2 powerful forces combined maybe will be too powerful for the government to handle. Who knows? But they don't want them to contact each other or come into contact with each other. So that was another very, very cool thing. And this is when I'm reading it and I'm gasping. I'm like, oh my God, we get Mihawk, and oh my God, we see Shanks again, and oh my God, we see Whitebeard and Blackbeard, and it was just like all happening at once for me. It cuts back to the Straw Hats, and we see them and their new ship, the Flying Merry-Go.
Before that though, or is this after?
What?
Luffy beats their asses.
Oh yeah, Luffy. Luffy whoops the ass of Hyena.
Yeah, that was sick.
It was super
whoops
sick.
The ass.
He whoops the ass.
Yeah,
that was sick.
That was super sick. I was like, did that happen after? But yeah, it was like, damn, because all of them are like talking shit, and then one of them's like, you guys, like they have a huge bounty on them, and they're like, nah, they just printed that out. And then he's like, where is he? And they spit out their water.
Yeah.
And they're like, it was taking them seriously, taking Luffy seriously, because he wasn't even a threat at all.
Yeah.
He immediately just rocks his shit. It was great.
Well, yeah, and that's when, you really do know or learn, even though I feel like we knew before, but that, yeah, Luffy was doing this guy. Luffy was giving this guy mercy by not fighting him back in that bar.
Mhm.
And when he does show up, like how not even a problem it is for him to take these people out, and how it's just like he does it in one blow, and he does it, so aggressively and so powerfully that he it just shows the fist imprint, and this man's face is dented in. It's just like, goddamn, with one punch, he just rocked this whole guy's shit. And that was really cool to see too. And then him going back and giving him his stuff back and stuff was really, really nice. Then the Flying Merry-Go, which is the Merry-Go, refurbished with wings now. And they're headed into the Grand Line again to hopefully use the Emperor, I think is what it's called, Cloud, and the Knock-Up Stream, which are going to sort of pass over each other at just the right moment to catch it and ride it up to Sky Island. But as they are going to the Grand Line, Blackbeard, now knowing who they are, is after them. It's everything is happening here. It's this, giant whirlpool. It's everything happening. The Emperor Cloud coming over. It's getting dark. And, we learned that the Knock-Up Stream is happening because of the bubbling that's coming up from under the earth from the heat. And the heat is causing these bubbles to cause the steam to push this thing up. And everything is causing this giant storm to happen. Again, like the sun being eclipsed by darkness, then Blackbeard and his crew showing up. Everything is chaos. We have the two monkeys that are there helping guide them. It's all coming together. It's all, going to be make or break. This is their one shot. They got it. They got to do it. And right as like Blackbeard's about to start attacking them, the Knock-Up Stream shoots them up into the air, and they ride and sail up into the sky.
Sick.
What's also really cool about that too is that they see as they're sailing up, things falling, debris falling, these monsters that are falling. They realize that if they keep going vertically, they might just start to fall backwards. To which Nami, who is the navigator, says, "Well, then we just have to, just because it's just because we're vertical and we're heading upwards doesn't mean that this isn't still a current that we can't sail." So she starts doing her navigator thing, telling people to raise sails and to do this and starboard bow, whatever.
Yeah, whatever sailing
boat
shit.
term,
Yeah,
sailing
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Port,
yeah.
port to
all on deck,
harbor,
all hands on deck. Yeah, just the poop deck.
Poop deck, yeah.
Yeah.
Bow,
Yeah, bow. Get the bow ready.
Get the grog, yeah.
Yeah, set sail.
Set sail.
Scurvy.
Scurvy. And then they catch the wind. They catch,
They break wind.
they break wind and knock up to Sky Island. Skypea. I think what it's more commonly known as.
Yeah.
And that was the conclusion of this first part of the Skypea arc, the Jaya arc.
So fun.
Wow.
So fun.
I mean, this is the most fun I've had in a long time. And again, maybe because it's new, but I was audibly excited.
How long has it been since you to catch up to this point?
What do you mean?
Because you left at the last episode. So
Right.
How long ago was that before you got to this part to continue the story?
I don't know why your question is confusing. I'm not blaming you.
Yeah,
I'm not blaming you.
I'm working. I'm like, okay. So
how long has it been?
You got to volume 30,
Right.
Mhm.
and now we went to volume 31. So when did you read volume 30?
Or I think it was it's a volume. We ended on volume 23 or whatever.
23.
24 or something like that.
So you got to that point.
I got to that point.
You never caught up.
Yeah.
We did episodes. We caught up, and now you're actually continuing the story. So what's that time gap?
Ooh, okay. Probably 2 years.
Yeah, because you bought the box set
Yeah.
recently, right?
Yeah, well, I bought it
2 years
I bought
ago.
it probably right as or right before or right as we started this podcast. And I gave myself a challenge to read all 20, because there were 24 or 23 or 24 volumes in that box set. I gave myself a personal challenge to read a volume a day for X amount of days consistently. So I don't think we were maybe even doing the podcast.
Volume a day for 23 days.
Yeah. And I did it. And volume a day keeps the doctor away.
Mm.
And unless the doctor's chopper.
Don't keep him away.
Yeah, keep him close. And I even filmed myself like talking about each volume after I read it, and it just never did anything with it. I just have them, I think, saved. The video saved. But that was 2 years ago. So now,
not that long ago.
But I mean, you got to think like,
Well,
and
with
then,
how quickly time fades away from our lives.
Yeah.
well, that's dark. But also, yeah. Also, like I had to reread everything that I had read before. So, I remember really enjoying Alabasta the first time and kind of enjoying it a little less the second time, but I think only because I was rereading it maybe sooner than I planned on rereading it. So a lot of it was still kind of fresh and it did feel kind of redundant. But again, this being uncharted territory and finally being able to read past where I had read 2 years ago is just, it was an awesome experience. It was an awesome feeling. What a great arc to have like left off on and come back to. I mean, so much fun. Not your typical One Piece arc. Did so many things differently, focused less on the fighting, more on the characters. I had so much fun. I love that the world was explored more. The heavy hitters were coming back. Again, everything that I've said in the beginning and throughout this episode, is still true and even more true at the end of it. If this is what One Piece continues to be, all hands on deck, because I am, take me up to Sky Island with you, because I'm on board for the whole ride.
And you're buckled in.
And I'm buckled in.
You're on Cloud 9.
I'm on Cloud 9. I'm on Emperor Cloud 9.
Emperor Cloud 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Emperor Cloud a guy?
Well, Emperor Cloud is the cloud that they had to get there going up to right now.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the Emperor Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys, how did you guys feel about this arc?
I really liked it. It was it felt a little long in the beginning, but once it really started picking up, I think in volume 25 is where I was like, okay, here we go. Like things were just like happening. Like all these people are after them. They're heading up to the Sky Island. Like great place to stop. And make you, have you excited to keep reading, so to see what the Sky Island's all about. And I am really enjoying it. And now we kind of have a more complete Straw Hat crew. I still get so excited when a new member is introduced. So
Yeah.
I think we still have like 2. But yeah, that's what I look forward to the most, is meeting the new crew members.
Yeah, I think Robin brings a lot of balance to the Straw Hats. And I completely agree with everything you said, like where it's going to go. And finally getting to see characters that I've seen, as either figures or, drawings or screenshots. Finally getting to see them be introduced in the story is exciting.
Cody, when does Usopp get those suspenders?
Yeah, when does Usopp get that like upgraded slingshot, the giant slingshot, suspenders, a new outfit, wardrobe change, you can see my new Zorro figure back here too.
Yeah.
Christmas gift.
It's lit.
Cody, what about you though? Any final thoughts? Anything you want to leave the people with about how this story left you?
It felt like another section of One Piece to me. I guess if I was reading it weekly or I had to do like a time gap, like characters coming back would have more of an effect. But for me, it's like, the characters that were here before, they're here again.
Right.
I don't know if I'm missing like that element of like, I had to wait for this to happen.
I mean, it just feels like they've done so much since we saw that character the first time. So with the absence of like real time, not having to, wait through real time, just what the characters have been through makes it feel like it's been in story long enough for me to be excited when they come back. Personally though. But I also get like binging it and going through it. You're feeling like it hasn't been that long for you.
It's like if you watch a Netflix show, it's not the same feeling when you don't have to wait a week.
Yeah, I'm really coming around to binging being the superior way to watch things. I was always a little skeptical. I did kind of like the week to week, and I did kind of like the conversations and the theories sometimes that were born out of like week to week releases. But I think I'm starting to come around and think that binging is the far superior way to consume media.
Do you mean you're just binging things more?
But I think I'm having a better experience.
Oh yeah, it sucks waiting, but like,
yeah.
I mean, the waiting's the hardest part.
Yeah, guess you're right.
Every day I get one more yard.
What? One more yard?
I thought one of you was gonna jump in with that.
I don't know. I completely
Tom Petty song.
I don't listen to Tom Petty, dude. You're completely valid in how you're feeling. Cody, I really am still holding out hope. I think the whole world is that this story's gonna, bend you over and crack you open. And
I don't know. I got the visual, and I did not like that.
No, crack open your tough exterior, your heart. To the wonder.
But you said bend me over.
Right.
Yeah. Which way?
And that's up to you. But that is going to do it for our discussion on the Jaya sub-arc in the Skypiea arc of One Piece. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening, especially if you're watching and listening all the way at the very end. We really, really, really appreciate it. We really appreciate you. Stay tuned for more One Piece arc reviews, or Done Piece reviews, as we like to call them. The only thing we have to do before we get out of here is thank our wonderful, beautiful, amazing Patreon members.
Woo!
Thank every single one of you. Your support means the world to us, and not just our Patreon members, but also now our YouTube members. Thank you guys as well. And just in case you're wondering how you can become either a Patreon member or a YouTube member, to become a YouTube member, all you got to do is click join. Patreon member, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/volume1pod. You get early access to all of our episodes and videos, which we're going to be doing more of and experimenting more with going into 2022. And you're going to get access to our exclusive Patreon, exclusive bonus podcast, Volume 1 Extra, where we talk about all kinds of other stuff, personal life stuff, other forms of media, other things that excite and interest us. Thank you guys, if you already are either of those things, for your support. And once again, click join to become a YouTube member, and go to patreon.com/volume1pod to become a Patreon member. Guys, is there anything else you want to tell the people before we leave them?
I heard tell. They get the so I heard this a tale of the Skygorithm gang.
I like that.
I heard about this. Mehgan, have you read about that? Have you seen this? You read about that? It's called the Skygorithm gang.
I like
it. And some say it is but a lie. But I believe that they exist.
I do too.
Okay.
That's
I believe.
Do you believe?
I believe, and everyone told me that my dreams weren't true. But they are. And you can
yeah. Cody, you might need help for a little bit.
So if you want your dreams to be in the Skygorithm gang to be true, what are the steps?
You can comment a comment. You can comment, or you can comment a period, or anything you want, because it acts as a tip, a free tip, that is, a tip into the right direction, a tip into the sky, a tip, and tip backwards is a pit, and you don't want to be in the pit, you want to be in the sky. So dig yourself out of the pit and give us a free tip.
I stand corrected. That was amazing. Amazing.
It's you one day we'll have you try one of these things.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun to watch.
It's boy, is it
oh gosh, that was intense.
Also, relieve you in the Skytopia. You can. Let
him go. Come on, let him go. Let him go.
There's other Skylands you can go to, like giving reviews on Apple, or something.
Yeah, leave us a review
in the sky.
Yeah, leave us a review in the sky.
Sure. I heard there's a Skyland made out of golden stars that you can freaking contribute to on Apple or Amazon or wherever podcasts are found. Yeah. How about Skytify and it's Spotify in the sky and go there too?
Yeah. 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 So thank you for your support, no matter how you choose to show it. We appreciate all of it. Even if you're just here watching and listening, we love you. And now the only thing left to do is to get out of here on our outro that's always the same and never changes, which today is
Sky Island's the limit.
Love it. Mehgan?
I think we did that.
We definitely did Sky's the limit.
Yeah, Sky's the limit.
We could do something with P Island. Okay.
P Island is where you want to go.
Not where I want to go, but where I live.
Ugh.
Now I'm on board.
Now he's back.
Something about, we got to see Shanks in a back. We got to see
Shanks for that.
Oh, a monkey. We got to see a lot of monkey inspired characters. I feel like.
No more monkey business. Monkey see, monkey do. Monkey see, monkey do.
How about you? We open up a Sea-Doo company and we call them monkeys. So they're monkey Sea-Doos.
How about we just go Sky P is the limit?
Okay.
I mean, why does that get up?
I mean, it's the same thing, but it's just to expedite it.
Skypea. Yeah. What did you say?
Sky Island's the limit.
Oh, because it's called Skypea.
No, but he's saying why,
because it's called Skypea.
Yeah, it is called Skypea, but also it's to just, it's just.
I mean, it's the same one every time. I don't know why we always have to have this conversation.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know why you always get.
Yeah,
so
you're always
thank
like, what should
you
we do? How about the same one we did last
for
time?
watching, and thank you for listening. And until next time,
Skypea's the limit.
Yeah.
It's be a lot.
I pee a lot.
So you pee enough.
That's why you cleaned yourself?
Yeah.
I legitimately said it smells like
Yeah.
Welcome to PI.